Welcome to Meeples on Meeples, episode 42. I'm Adam.
Ian.
Patrick.
Brian.
Before we get into our game of the week, as usual, I'd like to invite you over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/meeplesandmeeples, as well as our website, meeplesonmeeples.com, where we put up all of our game of the weeks, all of our videos, and give a special shout out because I don't know how many hits this gets, but we do have component shots for every game. You can go look at a nice photo gallery and see all these games up close. See all the components and how the artwork and everything. So check that out too.
And our photographer does do a good job.
He does.
To give a little shout out to him. He's got a whole little photo box thing going and everything.
And so check that out. And then of course go over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and you'll see all of our videos as they come up every week.
This week's game is a brand new game. It was a Kickstarter game called Quarantine Z by Alloyed Creations. And Quarantine Z, it's called Quarantine Z, it's the end of the world, get over it, is a tongue-in-cheek apocalyptic zombie apocalypse game in which you're playing against zombies against a team of humans. Now, there's one zombie player who has a zombie deck, and he utilizes these zombies to attack the human players. On the backside of the zombie deck is a generic zombie card, and basically you can play that at certain times to attack them as a generic zombie. And on the front of them are special powers or special zombie cards that he can also use to attack or to waylay the humans.
He has to play one or the other, though. He has to choose how he wants to
choose which side of the card that he wants to choose.
Yes.
Now, the humans all start off with munitions and weapons and supplies, and each hero or each human gets 4, and they can have any amounts of munitions. They can take all 4 from the munitions, all 4 from supplies. The best object is to mix and match, but the team gets to decide that. And once the teams decide what they're going to use for the supplies or munitions, they choose their first location. And they go to their first location, and once they go to the location, they turn it to show that they have visited it. And once they're there, the humans then roll the dice to see if they've made any noise. For any noise that they make, which is a roll of 3 or lower, the zombie gets to pull 1 card for each noise.
And the reason you tap it is most places you go to, you can only actually search once.
Yes, so you should.
So there's a purpose to tapping it.
You shouldn't tap it, which is actually a trademark game by
Term. Yeah, you can't say that tap.
But you can turn it, and you should actually only turn it after you've looted it. And I'll get to that term in a second. So once they visited there and the noise has been made, the zombie's turn then is to place zombies if he wishes to play a zombie, or draw another card if he doesn't have anything he really wants to play. If there's a zombie there, combat automatically starts. The humans have 3 choices. They can either fight, shoot, or escape. And they have a card to relay what they're going to do. And they choose it secretly, and at the count of 3, they all show their card what they're going to do that round. And they decide what order they're going to attack the zombies in. They roll the dice. And oftentimes on the cards, the dice roll tells them how much damage they can do. Each zombie has a life. If they don't kill the zombies, the zombie that are at the place that they're at automatically get to attack for 1 or so how much damage it says on their card. If the zombies are all killed, they get to loot for more supplies, munitions,
which is at the bottom of the card there.
It tells you guys how many of each card to draw.
Absolutely. If they're at a safe house, also known as a shelter. As a safe house, but also known as a shelter. They can dispose supplies, and if they dispose 1 supply for each human, the zombie has to discard at least 7 cards, and there's little other rules of adding on that they could make them discard more. The object is the humans win if they can get the zombie to blow through their 70 cards in their deck, including the cards in their hand. The zombies win if they kill off all the humans and there's no humans remaining. And believe it or not, that is pretty much the fullness of the game.
Why don't we jump right into components like normal? I'm going to jump right in on this one.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
Here's the box size. So let's going from this, you can tell.
Open it up. There's a wow factor in the inside.
The wow factor. The wowie.
It has a separator.
Oh, perfect. It's cardboard.
2 decks of cards.
Let's start first with the rule book. I appreciate they did do artwork on it. They even went double-sided on the paper. But it is...
that cuts cost.
Yeah, it is. It is basically like printer paper from your house, essentially. I mean, if you ran it on your inkjet, you could do the exact same thing.
They included 2 staples. Big spenders.
Yeah, it's kind of like those books if you have like a first grader who makes a book at school.
You're making fun of them. There are some games out there that cost $50 that have a paper.
You are
paper
actually
thing.
making fun of first graders with this.
Am I? That's there's a lot of issues I have, and it's mostly with components on this game. I mean, the fact that the game doesn't come with everything you really need to play it. I mean, there's times when you need to roll 2 dice. They give you 1 die.
For everybody.
You need
everybody has to roll it twice to go around, you bet.
You need markers to keep track of your life. they don't give those to you. I mean, they give you the cards to show you. The cards are okay. They have some nice artwork. Some of the zombie ones are actually pretty good.
And here's a big complaint about cards is never have black edges, because as they get played with and frayed, it starts to fleck off and become white, and this is black all the way to the edge.
That gets to something else. When we opened this game up, we were pulling pieces off the edges of the cards because they weren't cut right. They still had fringes hanging off of them. They were... So, I mean... As you can probably tell, I have an issue right off the bat with components.
Well, I will jump in and defend them a little bit. This was a Kickstarter game.
Well, they made $25,000.
But however, each person coming in only paid $20 or about for the game. So for $20 a game, there are games out there that are all cards that cost $50, $60. So
I'm going to throw this out there that Munchkin costs more than $20, and the cards are worse than this. I'm sorry, but the Munchkin set I have is some of the worst quality of cards I've ever seen. And this is a big name publisher.
That's because you own them.
The artwork is a little bit better.
So,
it's funny. This wasn't.
The artwork on the artwork on this is cheesy. It's supposed to be a cheesy game. It's not. It's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek game. So if you read the zombie cards, they make fun of themselves and they have little funny sayings on them. The houses, all the locations have little statements on them. So it's supposed to be a funny tongue-in-the-cheek, not a serious apocalypse game.
That's maybe one. I appreciate the kind of little story they have on some of the buildings, but there was one of them that obviously was supposed to be some type of in-joke, and we couldn't even find out what the in-joke was by searching it on Google.
Actually,
we Googled
I think it said, I don't get the reference or something.
Yeah,
Wasn't that the quote? I don't get the joke. Or
and we searched it. We couldn't figure out what the heck was going on.
It's Studio 18, and you're right. It is an inside joke, and if the creators could tell me what it is, I would love that. That's the one thing that I would really like to know is what is that one card referring to? I'd really kind of like to know your in-joke.
Some of the cards, they do have little quotes from movies or references to famous horror movies. There's a reference to Ash from the Evil Dead series and stuff. So I appreciate that because I'm a huge film buff. But some people that might just go right over their heads. I don't know.
As far as components go, the one plus is they keep the cards pretty simple. It's supplies you get, munitions you get, and the escape value. I mean, you can look at them from a distance and tell exactly what you're going to get, what it's going to take to escape.
Well, like this one is kind of, I mean, it says here, Jennifer Young, no need for dentists during the apocalypse. That's funny. I mean, there's tongue-in-cheeks and humor. So for what you get here,
funny?
It's funny at the end of the apocalypse. It's pretty cute.
Set the bar real.
It's
Laffy Taffy's like the best.
It is awesome. But there are card games out there that cost twice, 3 times as much as what I paid for this. They give you almost nothing. And this actually, each player has their setup. Each player gets their survival card.
The problem is they give you what you need in those games.
Yes.
Well, this doesn't.
No, not all the time.
To defend this, it is also, I like the fact, I'm not going to totally dog it. It's small and very portable. That's good. It's take it with you kind of game.
So what version actually has the fun in it?
Oh, do you want to go there?
Okay, so now we're moving on to
the strategy.
Strategies this game.
Let's wait on the likes and dislikes.
Oh, just work together. You'll win every time.
No. You guys,
if everybody works together,
you can
pretty much.
Here's one strategy: you can trade cards, and it's good to spread out certain items. Like if you have I think it's the car battery that lets you jumpstart and bring somebody back from the dead. Be careful who you give it to. If somebody's close to dying, don't let them have that card because then it's when they die they had it. So you have to kind of manage your hands carefully and do work as a team.
If you play as a team, I think it's a manageable game. The game is made though to be kind of cutthroat, which none of us did. But you can literally steal cards in front of people if they're not paying attention. You can
turn on each other. That's true.
You can run from the room. So if you're playing with a more cutthroat team, it might be harder. Harder. But I think if you work together, it's very manageable.
I think it gets easier when you have more people. When we played you and I against Pat, it was close. He killed me right at the end. After I jump-started you, and then you were able to pull off the win. With 4 against 1, it seemed really easy. It was a cakewalk. It doesn't
scale for the zombies.
Yeah,
it's the same difficulty.
And I will blame myself for that. I should have held on to my cards. I was playing zombie every time you went somewhere. I should have held on to my cards at certain times. And
so it was your fault we didn't like the game?
I didn't. It was my fault that I didn't play as.
Don't say we.
Tight.
Don't say we. You didn't like the game.
I didn't play it as tight as I should have.
I
didn't play it as my cards as tight as I should. I ran out of cards way faster
Besides
than
working,
I was expecting to.
Is there any other? As far as going between buildings, is there any strategy there?
The chips is the big one.
You do want having the omnoms and spending those
in the shelters wisely.
Make him burn a lot of cards. Yeah. That's true.
Burn the extra the bandages and the stuff that doesn't make noise and everything else. Because really the
Yeah, there's certain supplies that you're not going to use a lot. You can burn those in the shelters.
Which makes him burn cards.
The alarm and the ninja spray, you burn those. I mean, really, because you want the noise in the actual thing in order for him to pick a card.
So he has to draw more.
But it's worth more. The alarm is worth more to burn 7 cards than it is by itself.
Another little strategy, when you visit play, again, you can visit them more than once. You just kind of turn it so you can't keep searching them. You've cleared it out already. But search some of the places early, like when you choose where we're going to start. The places that are hard to escape from, maybe get them out of the way. Because early on, when everybody has full health, it's going to be a little easier to fight, and you don't need to escape and run away.
And also remember,
so that's something to think about.
You can also store supplies and munitions, too. You can only typically hold 7 cards in your hand, not counting what's in front of you.
And that's 6. I think it's 6.
6?
I think it's 6.
Sometimes you're going to have, especially when it's 2 players, you're going to have way more cards in your hand than you can hold. You can actually store them at places. Like, you can leave some supplies and munitions back at a house, so you can go back and pick them up later.
Yeah, you can't loot it later, but you can pick up whatever you left behind, which adds to the realism factor. Like, you cleaned it out once, but hey, we stored some crap here in the living room.
I think with the more players, it actually made it easier because of the fact that you had so many options. It seemed like every single one of us had backpacks.
Yeah, and then once we had backpacks, you can hold 10 items. We had just so many cards.
I never
it
found,
was easy.
With also 4 people, I never found where I usually had too few cards.
When we played the 2 of us, we were discarding, or not discarding, but storing cards a lot.
Oh, that's right. And then also with the discarding your cards, the ones that are useless, discard your cards down to where you don't need the backpack and discard that as an item. And
that's what we did at the end.
So we can make him burn all the cards, because really it's about getting through that deck.
So basically, there's quite a few. I say that's a lot of strategy for something that you're dogging as such a simple light game. I mean, there is a lot of thought.
I'm not dogging it as light. I'm just. My problem's with the components.
And we'll talk about that here in likes and dislikes here. Likes and dislikes, we scale these on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being
a review. Are we done yet? We're just doing our likes and dislikes. We'll do
Are we still doing likes and dislikes?
We haven't even started yet.
I think you guys are jumping back and forth. You guys have been jumping back and forth with likes and dislikes and components. So
let me get back to the component now.
Exactly. We started talking about likes here.
We're talking about King of Tokyo, right? Okay.
Likes and dislikes.
Likes and dislikes. I think the theme comes across fairly well. You're going around and scavenging. The items you draw like pistols, shotguns, baseball bats, cool things that you find in a zombie horror movie. The weapons do the appropriate amount of damage and everything. But the fact that zombies can follow you, zombies pop up at each location. You never know how many there are because there's like a game master who's playing the cards randomly. So I think actually for such a small box, the zombie theme works.
And not that it happened. Well, it did in our game, the 2-player game, actually. But one of my problems, I think you have an issue with this too, is games where one of the players can die and be out for good.
That does kind of bug me.
I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, with 4 players, it didn't even become really a possibility when we played it. With 2 players, Brian got killed, and we still played it.
No, you got killed. I saved him.
Saved me.
And then I had to die in the process. Yeah.
I eventually won, but it took another 6 rounds to go around. So, I mean, it's... You have that one person that might be sitting at the table and not enjoying themselves.
Ian, go ahead and start.
I would like to say that there is... I do like that the flow of the game is actually really easy to pick up, and it was very easy to know where was what.
But we never went to the rule book, that's always a plus.
And but we seemed to got into the flow too fast, and it seems like we were missing. We were skipping steps.
It might have gotten ripped or something.
It did seem like we were skipping do you want to do the fight scene, reveal phase?
You guys are blowing through that reveal phase.
We were just moving so fast through that there wasn't really a...
Yeah, I mean, we got into the flow, like you said.
Really fast.
And the zombie had a hard time reacting.
Yeah, that was okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's the problem with that I had, is you guys were going through that reveal phase, and that was more of the play that how we played than of the game. But what didn't you like about it? Likes and dislikes.
I'll say that for the review.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, for me, likes, I like this theme. I like the cheesiness of it. I like the fact that it didn't take itself seriously. It was not supposed to be a serious zombie game, because those are done to the death. We have Last Night on Earth. We have Zombies. We have all these that take themselves very seriously, and this one didn't try to take itself seriously. It has, cartoon pictures. It has funny statements on cards, and I kind of liked a zombie theme with a new flavor to it. Dislikes.
You see, Last Night on Earth is serious, huh?
Well, it's more serious than this. I mean, that one is...
It's a little more intense in violence.
Yeah, it's in violence. This is just totally a joke.
This doesn't come with a CD, does it?
No, exactly. There's no
soundtrack.
There's no theme, anything like that. But I get a free MP3. My dislike is, like I said, there are games I paid more for that come with cards and than this. But this is one game that would benefit from discs or something, or little cardboard chits to help you keep track of life.
Here's your little tip. What we did is Adam broke out the characters from Last Night, so we had little heroes, and we spiced it up a little bit because you don't have any markers or characters.
And I do have markers that I purchased elsewhere.
No, that's just a tip. That's a tip.
So if you have a $50 game,
make it. Make it better.
But you can play with little cardboard chits, but you can play with cardboard chits or those little discs that I put out.
Discs. Family friendly show.
Let's enunciate
discs that you can put out here. But you're right, it was missing that.
Can we talk about interlocking pieces?
Well, actually, that's going to be part of my review. Shh, don't.
Let's get
this is when it's not supposed to be. Okay, so we're going to review. We go 1 to 10. 1 is terrible. 10 is amazing. Ian, where does this fall on your scale?
5. I would say there's the rules. It's easy to pick up. It's fun. It's good that way. But I just didn't have fun playing it.
You just said it was fun.
No, like the
rule play.
Like the game, it's like you say, like it's supposed to have fun cards and like it's supposed to be like this kind of tongue in cheek or like a parody of an actual zombie horror film. I didn't feel it. I didn't see that come across. It has guns and it has has ammo cards. It has and you can kill other players. You can kill the zombies. I didn't feel the need to do either one of them. It fell flat. That's kind of it just wasn't there. I didn't have any fun. I didn't have. I had a little bit of fun because I was with my friends.
What do you think?
You use that term loosely, but
very loosely.
Again, setting that bar low.
I'm kind of torn on this. I, to a degree, enjoyed it. Like we said, one of the things I always talk about in reviews is I like the fact that we didn't have to go back to the rule book. It plays, once you pick it up, it has a good flow. It goes pretty quick. It's relatively fun. What takes it down for me is, as I've beaten to death, components, obviously. The tongue-in-cheek part just didn't come across for me. I really didn't get the whole feel of the theme that well.
I didn't.
The biggest thing, though, is going to bring it down is the fact that it just doesn't come with what it needs to play. I mean, the fact that we have to supplement it with extra die, we have to supplement it with extra markers, that's a problem for me. So as far as gameplay goes, I might be around a 7. Components bring it down a lot. I mean, I'm going to fall out at a 5 with Ian.
Well, I was going to say, if you ever played Mousetrap without the mouse, it would be really...
Yeah, I'm at like a 7 for game. I'm at a 3 for components. So I mean, that's just where I end up. I wouldn't buy it.
So basically, it's like buying a game at Goodwill and not getting like any of the old pieces.
Yeah, it's like you get puzzle.
Start substitute your own pieces in. Yeah. Okay, you're the thimble. I'll be the car from life.
I'm gonna be quite a bit higher than you because I enjoy the game. For $20, remember you're paying $20 for this game. I would like to challenge you to create a game, create all the artwork, pay somebody to do the artwork, pay somebody to create it, pay somebody to box it up, pay somebody to print it up, and pay it for less than $20 a game. I mean, you can't, for that price, because they're trying to get into people's hands, for that price, you can't give it, like, miniatures and
the problem is, I'd pay $30 if they gave me the stuff.
But you wouldn't know that going into it.
That's my review.
But my point is, though, when you're trying to make a game, you don't know what people are going to do with it or not. So they're trying to keep it cost. They wanted this game out. They like the thought of the game. They're trying to get it out. So they put it out at $20, knowing that it probably would go at that range.
Is this coming from them, or is this just
no? This is for me. This is me.
Okay.
This is me coming out with that game. And then when it's sold, I mean, you have to start somewhere. So when you're starting out a business, you have to think, keep it cheap, keep it small. And then if you like it, you are willing, like I am. I like this game. I am willing to go out and purchase more pieces to it because the game itself, which is their creation, their mind, their out of their intellectual property, is what makes the game. These things just make it a little bit different and different. But it gives it a little bit easier and faster play rather than passing around the dice.
You need at least 12 pieces of flair to make this game shine.
But I do think the tongue-in-cheek comes in. I mean, it has the cartoon statements. It has the statements underneath. It has the cartoony look to it. It's obviously not to be taken seriously. Like the box says, it's the end of the world. Get over it. Tells you the theme.
Did you have
what
fun
the theme
playing
is.
This game?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, are we gonna get to a number here?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Okay. But I'm defending. I'm explaining my number. I'm explaining my number.
1.
It could have come with a few more pieces, but I don't think it was necessary. So all in all, I like the theme. I think the theme came through. It's fast play. It's easy play. It's a a fun play. I give it a 7. It's not fantastic, it's not great, but when it hits the table, I know a lot of people like to play it. It's enjoyable, it's fast, it's easy, and they'd be willing to take it up.
Okay. I'm going to go 6.5. Definitely higher than a 5. I think just because I really do think the theme comes through very, very well. I don't get the whole point of the layout of the board because you can jump from that corner to this corner without any penalty. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what... I mean...
It's just, I think, to make it more spacious.
I guess. I mean, it seems like there should be a rule for, like, the further you travel, the more likely you are to make noise or something. It seems like there was a missed opportunity there.
You need more dice. You'd have to.
But that would increase the rulebook size, and that's not.
Well, that's true. The box would be bigger. I think it's a missed opportunity that the rules are actually very good. The theme is very good, and I would have, like Adam said, paid $40 to have like actual little interlocking pieces and make it a board game. And throw in some miniatures. I know I always got to bring in interlock pieces every review. I have to. That's like part of my contract. So it could have been. It could have been. I get dozens and dozens of dollars a year.
More than you paid a teacher.
Yes. They could have made this an actual board game, though. I really do think that the rules are that good.
Could this have been
they
one
could
of
expand
this free games that you just put out all there and you
like a print and
play?
Honestly, you could have, yes.
Yeah, and so that would have taken away all your $20 that you said.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have.
I could have spent $20 made this better.
Yeah, but you could have made a print and play, but getting it to print off on things like that, on cards like this, it'd be harder to do.
Wait, I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
The reason I'm the 6.5, it goes back to the components almost every time. Mm-hmm. So a game with rules this good, I think, and you can maybe disagree, but I think the rules were, you guys all point out, they were easy to pick up. They made sense. We didn't have to go back to the rule book.
I appreciate that.
It matched the theme. So it just, they just kind of killed it with, who cares what the layout is, crummy components.
It's one of those
It's a 6.5. I know that sounds like a low score, but you should still pick it up. For $20, that's a heck of a deal.
The problem is, if I open up this box and I look at it, I almost feel like the creators didn't care.
Oh,
I mean that's if I'm going to put something out.
Well, my worry is somebody's going to pick this up on the shelf and walk away from it without bothering.
I know they probably poured their heart and soul into this game. They probably love it. But if I crack it open and
you're tushy with
if I open it up and I look at it, it's almost like they didn't try is what it feels like. And I know that's not the case.
You're missing on the point that it's expensive to do. I mean, this is a Kickstarter game.
I would pay them more, though.
But they would
the extra $10-$20.
Okay, come up with a game that you think will be good and you want people to pay $50 for it. How about if it doesn't go?
My game, I would rate it a 7 if it had all the stuff that it should in the box and that rule book looked better. I would be right with you.
What does it matter what the rule book looks like?
Yeah, it makes the world a difference.
It just looks... It's like I said, it's like opening up and saying, wow, they didn't even care.
Have you seen the rule book for Monopoly? It's horrible too.
It used to be on the inside of the box.
Yeah, I would actually be okay with that.
They almost could.
Because they almost matted finish.
Yeah. Anyways, there you have it. A couple that were wrong. No, I'm just kidding. There you have it for Quarantine Z. That's our review. Next time we're going to be reviewing...
Well, it's a surprise. Anytime we commit, we never do review what we say. So just tune in next time to find out what we review.
There you go.